thing in the town here. But bring stuff to us if you come up with it. So, that's where we're at.
So when you say bike trail,
Just for this.
Bike,
I just-
bike.
okay, bike trail. This is what I want to clarify because I love to bike, I love to hike, but
Okay, so this is.
like for me to go bike in Saratoga, I won't because it's all on roads.
No,
I want to bike on a road.
and none of this is gonna be on road.
That's all I need to
None
hear.
of it. We want it so that you can take little kids on it.
Yes,
There's gonna be
that's
zero road. You might have, we're gonna have to cross roads.
roads, okay.
We're gonna have to cross 10-mile avenues.
Yeah.
We gotta get across the 10-mile.
No, that's
We
exactly
gotta
what
get
I
across
wanted.
County Trump C.
Yep,
But
that's exactly what
that's
I
it.
wanted to hear, that it wasn't more of this
None of it
sign
will be
out
on
on our roads and we're calling it bike trail.
Nope.
It's not a bike trail.
No, it won't even be off on the, it won't allow you to be on the pavement with a white line. There'll be a separate area like Port Edwards has.
Yeah,
And that's
that's all I wanted to
There will be
clarify, that that's what we're actually looking for.
Our goal was to try to not go along any roads if we didn't have to,
Right.
but it's way cheaper to do that. It's so fun to ride alongside of a road. We wanna try to get into some of the woods. We don't know if we can use the pipeline right away.
Yeah.
Use that. We don't know any of that.
Right.
Because we're not gonna.
Inbridge owns
They own the pipeline right away.
I mean, we didn't get the right away, but they just have easements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All private land.
And then
Um,
cross the 10 mile.
But there's a lot of possibilities on how we're gonna get from point A to point B, but
Particularly that.
is it a good idea or not? I don't know.
Isn't that Sheldon somehow?
I don't think it's gonna cost the town a whole lot.
Yeah, that's a brand.
We might have a little cost up front if we do decide, if the town says, yeah, that's something I think we should, you know.
This is power.
Then we would go out as a group, the four of us, contact the pipeline, we'd try to get the best route we could figured out.
Sure.
No, Brian.
We might have to have an engineer come out and say, this might be better, or,
But
Well, like Dan said, the pipeline's just got right away.
yep,
People still own it, so,
yep.
they would.
But you know, you
See,
probably have to
that's
do it in
exactly what he
phases.
said.
yeah.
Cost, so maybe the first phase could be how do you connect from
What's over
Natuska to Point Bass?
How come the
And I-
lines aren't-
You know, the
Yes.
first leg of it there, and then, because you're not gonna be able to fund
Okay.
the whole
He
site.
owns a house here.
And
Some of that should
come
be
up
here.
with a-
It shows it as.
You know, it's just,
that
how
shows
would
the
you do
driveway.
that? Where would you put that
That's
trail?
right.
Where?
Oh, Nakusa.
You mean back there?
Yeah.
Start with Nakusa though?
Oh, that is 10 miles.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that is 10 miles.
We got tons of time in here, and I don't even know if that's where you guys wanna go, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think you did a great job.
I mean, I don't know if this is even something that we wanna,
Oh, I didn't.
we just think we have
Okay.
some really cool spots. If we could get it, and Point Bass said, we're all for putting a trail through. It's gotta be gravel, Carl said. But we can have historic plaques and talk about stuff along the trail. There's a lot of Indian stuff north of there to talk about. We've got the solar we can talk about.
And you can connect all the communities together as a united.
Yeah, we're not a destination, but as they come through, they might live here and go.
If you come down Blue Ridge, or that's not Blue Ridge. If you come down, what is that? Adams Avenue?
The gravel.
County line,
Yeah,
County line.
County Line.
Yeah.
If you come down at the end of that is where they're putting the new solar thing. So if you drive down that, ride bike down there, if you connect it down there, that's a very scenic road. It's not populated, so traffic wouldn't be an issue. You go past that new solar thing to show off the solar, I guess, our solar. And then, try to get to 10 Mile.
well, we're thinking hopefully that the solar company would help with some of this stuff, and we would try to get the trail to go to it at some point or place, so that it would be a oversight and a information, so that if a family of if you had some kids and stuff, you were riding a bike from point A to point B and you came across it, it'd be like, it'd be pretty cool. I mean, it'd be something other than, you don't see that on bike trails all the time. You don't see Point Bass on a bike trail. You don't,
I just,
hiking trail.
I really like to keep them off the main drag, but going down Adams and then trying to get to 10 Mile and going down by, just to show off our campground and maybe bring them back out.
I was thinking.
It's been 100 years since I.
Well, once you.
Well, Rob, you brought up an interesting
You gotta start
point
on the
too.
end.
Wisconsin Power owns a lot of water
Yeah.
along,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of land along the water.
We don't have to pick out a trail here.
No,
All I wanna know is,
And I think that should
is
be
this something that we should
I think
pursue or
so.
not?
Yeah,
so Rob, how much per mile did you say?
120 to 150, depending on how many driveways, bridges, culverts, how flat it is, how
That's
rough.
gravel?
150 is blacktop,
one is
20s.
Yes, on my.
Cheaper to put a
There's
file.
positives to blacktop.
I was gonna say, how much is it? How much is it?
750,000 for a road per mile.
750 per mile?
But this is just gravel.
Well, I'd like to see it.
That's not really bad. I would not. I mean, I think blacktop is great, but somebody's got to maintain that.
It has to be maintained,
is
it
also-
cracks, it has to be sealed,
Yeah.
it's costing.
The gravel,
More costly.
Gravel, you have to grade all the time.
And a
yeah, but
a
quite
hiker's gonna want gravel more than blacktop, right?
That's true.
I would, yeah. I would like
That's
dirt more than gravel. I'd rather just have hard packed dirt.
What's your bike if you're gonna go for a family?
The thing-
Gravel.
See, I don't, I like it.
The
hard.
thing about
Kids,
gravel,
especially
though,
if you're young.
it would be easier to maintain
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
dirt,
Track
because
the
dirt,
box
you're gonna
breaking.
have weeds and stuff growing, and you will with gravel, don't get me wrong,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's still,
There'd still be some maintenance costs
Right.
in the future that somebody would have to
and Rob,
absorb.
I do see who owns that land. I mean, I'll see what I can do, but
Well, there's all kinds of landowners and there's all kinds of places,
not
trails.
where we
There's
would
all
like
kinds
it.
of, all kinds of places where we can try to get through
Yeah.
and do this. I don't know.
Yeah, but
There's gonna be a lot of getting turned away and then maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. We have no
Well-
idea. But the
if
general scope of the idea, if it's
Coach Road,
favorable,
I think
we would put some energy into trying to find out
Around.
more.
I think if it's
Hey,
approached
so
the right way, I think we would be able to do it.
Approached as in,
Friends instead of enemies.
Well, I think we leave that planning up to the folks that are putting in the time and
Yeah.
effort. I don't think we should be
Yeah.
trying to sway or
It
dictate.
was just
You
trying
guys
to
have
decide
put in
whether
the
you're going
time.
farther, right?
yes,
Yeah, I love
I think
that
it's a great
idea.
idea.
that's all we wanted to know.
I think you did a great job.
I do too.
We're gonna meet, we're gonna have a meeting after the board meeting, cause I'd like you guys to discuss it with the board. We should make, I don't know if we wanna make a motion to discuss it quick with the board. And get their, you don't have to vote on it, but just, if we could just have them say, yeah, we
We support you.
support it and we'll go out and start digging around some more, Carl.
Yeah.
I like that. I think.
I think it's a great idea, especially the
excellent.
whole combining the communities
Yeah.
together and having a really, if Rome's gonna bring it this way and the Coos will bring it this
Right.
way, and it's a 3 community effort. You could really promote it that
I
way. You could
agree.
raise grants that way. You could raise
Well,
money that way.
And that's part of it too. I don't, we looked into the money thing and again, there's people that do this for a living.
Right.
And if you approach it as a one big project, as 3 towns and do it all at once, we might be able to get a grant easier than
Yeah.
segmented it or not. We have no idea. We're not professionals at this, but at some point we might have to seek counsel, not legal counsel, but
But
some
I get
sort,
it. Yeah, I agree.
of counsel, someone that
Knows what they're doing.
this draft committee in Rome has done a very good job, up to date. And,
Wow.
I know Port Edwards has done some trail work again here now. They did just put one in down by Seneca, heading
Yep.
up Seneca Road, so I'm gonna talk to them. But I didn't wanna do any of that until I knew for sure we could
I
We
like this.
Pursue.
openly discuss it. So
I am more behind this than I was the one there. Because this,
That's all road.
this focuses on
Oh, yeah.
where we're gonna go through Saratoga and make it a focal point, and
So-
I really like that.
So Port Edwards and Nakusa actually approached us originally to try to get us to get a path
Yeah,
from here to Rome, because they were talking with Rome and we were in the middle. And,
somehow we got veered off going to Rapids.
well, they were trying to incorporate Grand Rapids into it, and the lady that was heading it was from Nakusa. And they said, well, what do you have for paths? And we're like, oh, look at the map. All we got is roads,
Yeah.
So that's how that started, and that's why the paths now are all on our roads in Blacktop. It's because we didn't have a path. We didn't have a path like this to offer. Where
Right.
Port Edwards had their own path, Nakusa had their walking path along the river.
Yep.
And it all kind of, they worked together to connect it. And then here we are in the middle. We got county seat
Can I just
You
ask
know,
a question?
yeah.
Rob, Rob, I'm really interested in this draft committee in Rome.
Draft.
Yeah, the draft, that's what I said. So you said they came up with the money themselves.
Correct.
So where did they come up with the money?
So
Okay.
they get 8% of everything, bed and breakfast.
Yeah, they get the
B&B,
room
RVs, and they
Okay.
get all the hotel money from Sand Valley.
But
They get
their biggest organization, and this is where you would be your first thing once you get something, is Legacy, the Legacy Foundation in Rapids, because they gave them a phenomenal
Yes, they did.
amount of
Yes,
money
we
to go for that project.
discuss that. And
Yeah.
and that if we can-
That's your local
We
organization
can tap
for
into that.
development.
If we have some good ideas. This is gonna have some good educational
I got that one.
stopping
This is-
points
Yep.
and interesting.
Legacy, the Legacy Foundation. Mm-hmm.
I didn't wanna say that, cause.
Yeah, which
but
I believe used to be the
we did
Riverview
go.
Hospital Foundation, and then it went to Legacy. So that's their mission,
Yes.
is to help this area for community
it would be a good
projects.
one.
There's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
But you have to have somebody who knows how to get it. Because, you know, there's certain people that know how to get money.
Yeah, yeah.
There's-
Yeah, yeah.
There's-
Right, you guys did an excellent job.
So, but, that's where we're at.
Okay.
Out on the island
Yeah.
there? Yep.
So,
I love that idea.
I mean, as a member of the board, I'm gonna take this, a brief summary of this.
Okay.
Project we got going, or you got going on, and talk to the board about it, kind of fill them in. Do we need anything to ask them to go ahead, or should I, as informational, I can just say, this is what we're doing?
That's what I would say, and I would give them Rob's idea about keeping it, more rural and having spots of interest
yeah, for
along the
sure.
way. And
Yep.
I think that's where we failed before. We were just going from one place to another, and we were taking busy roads and
Well,
crossing
yeah, that
highways.
was, cause that was all we had to offer,
Right,
honestly,
but I think working with maybe some landowners and some,
for sure.
with Alliance and with We Energies and, we got a lot of stuff here.
And we're
You gave us a
fortunate,
lot of
Point
good
Bass
information.
is exceptionally happy about it if we could get through theirs. And and the thing is we'd like a couple trailheads, meaning where
Yeah.
you can park and get a bike off, and that would be one that we thought we could try to make their parking lot bigger
Where is this?
at
Point
Point
Bass.
Bass.
Yeah.
The end
And
of
possibly
the
get a bathroom there.
Oh, that would be
And the
amazing.
bathroom would be a twofold, it'd be win-win, it'd be win-win for them and it'd be
Absolutely.
win-win for us bike trail people.
I
And maybe
like that.
possibly the same thing by
Yeah.
the solar plant.
Mhm.
So,
It could be portables too for the time being.
Oh, yeah, do it.
That's
Yep.
what a lot of people are going with, just porta toilets.
um,
But there's an expense there that somebody would have to take when they're maintaining.
But we also have a contact with the Coosa Papers through Roger.
Mhm.
So he might be a good contact just to find out who did you talk to and maybe some land, because on that curve,
Mhm.
that corner is owned by.
Yep.
So maybe we could,
I've already talked to Roger and Point Bass has already talked to Domtar about moving
Okay.
keeping going north with the trail. So that we wouldn't have to go on Z.
there you go.
There's all ideas. I'm not saying any of it's.
No, but
We
they're
don't know if
wonderful
they're
ideas.
ideas, so,
Wakely
um,
owned the property on north of the cul-de-sac.
we don't need a
A
playground.
little-
We don't need a
Cause they deeded.
No.
We don't need a splash pad. We
Yeah,
don't,
but
I don't know what we need in this town.
I think
this-
it's,
Dump,
I think
I think
it's
it's a great start.
Thing,
And
yeah.
if we get businesses coming in or other,
Where the old
I
sludge
mean,
pit was.
what's to say that
So
we want to
between-
divert the path or make another,
Right.
We would like
The
it
lake.
to get to the campground
yeah.
somehow. And
Yeah.
and some of it might have to be on a road.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
At
all
least there's a
depends on
start.
it.
Yeah, but I
Quite a few
think it's
shallows,
wonderful,
that's
Rob.
true.
I think you guys did amazing work. And that's
Even
just
if-
me, I know.
Yeah, even if it was alongside of Z, if we could be a couple of feet off the blacktop and then have another path.
Yes, down to the-
So it's like that on the road.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Oh,
road
yeah,
was
because
everything
Nakusa
all
Schools
the way.
walks kids to that point,
Yeah.
to that Point Bass during the
Isn't
school.
that right
They
there?
walked out Z.
Yeah, would it be nice if they could take a trail?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's where Point Bass was trying to get down to.
To try to come in,
There.
yeah,
We'll see.
go behind there somewhere.
Back in there.
Yeah.
It might all, none of it might work and some of it
Back
might
in
not.
there years ago when I was young.
It's just a good idea.
I think that's a
I mean,
starting point.
That's some funding.
Well,
Um,
There, the costs, I don't know what the costs are gonna be, but if we do have to have, someone look at it so that we don't waste money or spend money where we shouldn't or make mistakes that cost us money, we might have to, but we'll do a lot of research and get a lot of ideas from other people who have built these bike trails through communities and get ideas and,
And we do have that other solar I'm sorry.
yeah.
I forget where I'm sitting.
Well, I'm gonna say you guys are on the right track and
Yeah.
full speed ahead as far as I'm concerned. We'll talk to the board and if the town board feels they need to back off a little bit or slow your roll, I'll let you know. But other than that,
I'll stop, I'll be there.
don't slow down.
I'll be there.
Phenomenal
Doing
job.
great.
We're gonna meet the night after
Absolutely.
the board meeting.
Okay,
The first day after the board meeting, so,
perfect. I appreciate all the legwork here.
Yeah.
yeah, thanks, Carl.
No problem.
Into the other two.
Oh, you
that
did?
are-
Yes. We'll
Talk about it. Yeah. Between me and Rob, we're getting things figured out.
All right, good job. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, item number 6, operation ordinance revision discussion.
Okay, so as you all know, when we wrote the ordinance, we wanted to get it in place. And we wanted to have it there. And then it had been sent to the lawyer, but the lawyer had not reviewed it. So once the lawyer reviewed it, she took our ordinance and made it legalese. So she added state statutes and she put it in a better format. And it says basically the same thing, but it has more legal, she feels it has more clout because it's referencing state statutes.
Are you talking about this one?
The new
So-
one, that's called the,
Data facility.
data facility, yes.
So
So
this
it
is
has-
what we did and then this
Yep.
is what they came up with.
And that's what she
Okay.
came up with, yes.
Yeah, so what we
Everything
have in
is in
place
there.
right now is 12126 at the top.
Mhm.
And the one that is revised would be,
Will be for, the meeting on next Wednesday.
Yep.
After you guys compare them and see if there's anything, I did not see anything wrong with it. I thought it was very well written.
so this was, everything that we had in this one
Yes.
is still there
Yes,
with statutes
attached.
inserted.
It was statutes and our own ordinances that she had reference to.
Yeah.
The ordinance I could reference, the state statutes I did not, because this is such a new thing that I didn't even know where to go with it. Because when I plugged it in to Google to the state statutes, nothing came up. So she did some awesome research. Oh, thank you, Pat.
The only thing I was thinking about is that there's a lot of references here to plans and real engineered and professional type stuff that has to be out there. And I don't feel that we as a board, even all put together, have the expertise to be able to look at some of this stuff and actually know what we're looking at. My thought is that we put something in here that anything that has to be reviewed by a professional with any costs involved by the applicant. You know, that we don't have to go out and hire a professional engineer or a scientist or whatever to investigate this stuff and end up paying a huge.
Would that be what number 6, section 6 under fees, all applicable costs
It could
incurred?
be.
I think we did put that in there because,
Okay,
yes,
I think the it's on the very last page, section 6.
I think-
it's on the very last page of both, because it's saying all applicable costs incurred by the town of Saratoga pertaining to this project shall be paid by the applicant.
okay.
Application fees are assessed pursuant to the town's fee schedule. That's under, well, on the new one, it's under section 6 on the very last page. And we also had it in ours.
Well, yeah, but in 4.12, it even says
Impact
about
assessment?
Yeah.
yeah.
the environmental impacts, you know, that type of stuff. we don't know what we're looking at, you know, that.
Does say by professional engineers.
But
just-
we could hire somebody based on.
But
what
I'm saying that fee
Yeah,
to be charged back, and I think the same thing that was always involved with the solar, that any of that things that we had to go outside to get information or whatever was paid by the applicants. But if it's in there, that's fine. I didn't read it that close.
Well, then look on the new one on the very last page and just like, I would like your input on if you think that covers that under section 6 fees on the very last page.
Yeah, but that doesn't really get specific as far as, it just says that fees will be paid by the applicant. It doesn't say that any environmental study fees be paid by the,
Yeah.
that's
It
the
says
one I saw
applicable
too.
costs incurred by the town
Costs, yeah.
pertaining to this project. So I guess it's a broad.
Doubles up, okay.
Right,
yeah.
But
Can you put an RE, you know, such a thing?
No, but I think the 4.12 covers what I was looking.
I don't have it, so I can't see. That's, I'll get it. this
I've
week.
read it 100 times.
Yeah, I'll get it this week.
prepared by a professional
Oh,
engineer or other qualified individual. You could-
I'll go,
Town to assess the impact. Yes, that's some should also.
well, that doesn't really say that he's paying for it either, does it?
It says the applicant, right?
You go, no, that sentence sounds expensive, but it doesn't
Yeah.
say who's paying for it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, it said, you know, the Saratoga to assess the environmental impact study, but, you know, who here is qualified to
Right.
even know how to open up the book? You know, that's,
So maybe in section 6,
get more
all
specific.
costs incurred by the town pertaining to this project and including any environmental impact studies or
Review of,
Any professional review of,
There you go,
Yeah, there you go.
professional review be covered by applicant,
yeah, a professional review of
or the,
impact studies or,
How about
Other.
including professional reviews of project data?
professional reviews and studies or studies.
of project data.
Assessments.
How about including professional review of submitted documents, of all submitted documents, documentation?
I think that would probably do.
Well, doesn't 411 say that the applicant will provide an environmental and community impact?
Yeah, but if
analysis?
they're providing it, it might be skewed towards them.
right, yes.
Since we'd want
And that's-
somebody to review it.
We might want to hire our own.
And that was another thing too, that I thought about too, that, professional to be at our discretion.
Independent.
Yeah,
Okay, so all applicable costs incurred by the town of Saratoga pertaining to this project, including professional review of all submitted documentation, shall be paid by the applicant.
What if we wanna do our own water study or have like UW Stevens Point do water study to compare, what they come up with?
Well, that
I
would
mean,
be,
Would that be covered then?
That'd be the
it says all applicable costs pertaining to this project. I mean, leaving out the including,
Right, sure.
I think that would be.
So included but not limited to.
Right,
Mhm. I think that addition
okay,
covers us.
I can
You
add
guys think that?
Yeah.
But going back to what Dan had stated about, and I just want to make sure we're clear about 4.11. You know, they're picking who they're having do their impact analysis.
well, yeah, that would be, I mean, no
But,
matter what, yeah.
right, but do we want to put in there something to the fact, you know, because like we were saying, they could pick somebody that they know is going to skew it. Do we want to word in there any individual authority to have an independent, that we can choose the group or you know, have to
No.
approve of the group
Well, I
that
think
they.
that's a
I don't
professional
know
review.
how that works.
I think that's a professional review.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Right, like if we,
Just- We would have to, yeah.
if I had to do an environmental impact analysis, I'd wanna hire who I wanna hire.
Right.
I don't wanna hire who you hire.
But their
Right, you know.
reputation is they do it the way they need to do it.
Right,
They
yeah.
can skew it or they're gonna.
And
do
that's
it.
why we
Yeah.
would find
Right.
somebody
They
out
put
there.
And if we look at it and be like, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
question things.
Then we
Then
can
we
call
can do a
somebody
review.
Yeah.
and say, check
Okay.
this out, what do you think?
Okay, I can
All
add
good.
that.
So I think we're covered.
Okay, all good.
So if that's the only change we made, then,
Send it to the board with your,
I would say with a motion and a vote, we could, send this to the board for next week.
I will
I
make.
mean, it's a small
That's a
addition,
motion.
but it's also an important one, so.
Mhm.
Because we'll just keep fine tuning this thing until we got what we want, right?
I definitely like all of the references to statutes in there.
she said the legal stuff kind of scares people away, so if that's what we're trying to do. And I said, well, we don't know that. We just want to make sure they're in a place where,
This protect, we're
where
protecting.
they're, yes.
Location, is location in here? Okay, where did I see that?
We had it in our other one.
It's in there, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to find it while we were looking through just to make sure it was in there. Because we wanted it in industrial, right? Or,
Yeah, let's see, where is it? It should be under the.
They did see some about conditional use.
It should be under section 4.
Mhm.
4.01.
It says no person or business shall construct or operate a data facility in the town of Saratoga unless issued a conditional use permit pursuant to zoning ordinance section 16. What is 16? I have 16 here. That's just for permits. Section 13. I want a site plan review.
What is that listed as? Purple, heavy industrial, or is that industrial? Commercial.
Which one? The only one heavy is,
So that's how we listed it.
We got a sewer treatment plant on there.
there's only one spot. In the water.
General industrial district.
you know, things down there.
And that's where we.
Did you put that in the first one?
Well, that was supposed to be a separate zoning that
Okay.
AI and data centers were
Oh, yeah, we put that in our zoning.
general industrial
Oh,
district.
yeah, that's in our zoning.
It's in our zoning.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what
But that
she's
did make it to our
referencing.
zoning, correct?
It didn't make it to the data facilities operations ordinance, because that's how to operate it. But where to locate it is in our regular zoning.
So she's referencing section 16,
In our zoning.
Yes,
zoning.
And
But-
that states,
and I think we should reference it in the industrial also. I think she should reference,
Because is our section 16 in our zoning, is that? the
that's not
industrial-
it.
That's not it? Okay, so then we need to correct that
we need
regardless.
a reference for that.
Well, 16 is, we need it to reference
Section 6.
8. We need it to reference 8 for location.
So pursuant to a zoning ordinance section 8,
Yeah.
so what is 16?
16 is the,
Section 16 is permits, inspection.
yeah, that's,
Types of permits.
that
and
they need a
Conditional use permit.
conditional use, yeah. And then 13 was, the site plan review, and 8 should have been the district.
Yeah, general industry district.
So do we need to include all three of those sections?
I think, yes, based on what we're talking about here in this operation.
Pursuant to zoning ordinance section 8, 13, and 16.
I mean, just to be safe, that's I would definitely.
Yeah.
You had asked me about the one. Well, thank you.
I know, but I couldn't go in and out.
Does it reference that in 4.03B?
No, section 13 is, site plan review. It has to be, section 8 is general industry district. So that should be compliance required. That's, they have to comply. Permit required. That's the conditional use permit. Location, it should say something about location. District location, I think is what it should be titled. So I think we need to put in a 4.0. Actually, I think it should be one of the first. I think it should be 4.02, or I think it has to go right at the top so they know that it's this district.
You know, and she changed this as well.
Okay.
Because here it's saying every structure shall be set back at least 200 feet, and we agreed on 1,000 feet.
No,
I think
we had 200.
I think we had to.
What
We
did
had
we
to
do,
lower that.
1,000?
We had to lower that down.
We talked about 1,000, but then we changed it to 200. Yeah.
We were talking about how far 1,000 feet was.
No, maybe that was it.
I don't even see where I put it in here though with the first one that it was industrial. So I think we do need to add that. 'Cause I don't have it in here.
Well, your well's gotta be at least 1,000 feet away from the property boundary. Right here. This one, yeah, this one here. And then this one here. And then this one.
Yeah, I think we gotta add it here.
Well, Lorelei, if you
Yeah.
look down regarding where permits required,
Yep.
under the 4.01, we do reference section 13 and 4.03
Yeah, but section
Sure.
13 is
for the site plan review.
right. And then, but 13 doesn't specify that this only can go in industrial.
Location, right.
So I think we need to put it,
Put 8 up in there.
I think 8 has to be actually the first one. Because that's telling them, if you can pass 4.01, then you go on to 4.02, if you
Sure.
can pass that. So I think 4.01 has to be location, or district location. And then I think we have to make a sentence in there that a data facility can only be located in as a conditional use located in the general industrial.
For zoning ordinance section 8.
Yeah.
That would be specific enough.
Well, so 411C of this new one, a site plan of the property indicating the location of proposed improvements, which would be a building,
Yes.
floodplains, wetlands, waters of the state, and cultural and historic resources on the property, and within,
Within the 1,000.
well, it says within 1,000 feet of the boundary
Mm-hmm.
of the property. So it has to be no farther away from the boundary than 1,000.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you were 1,000 feet away with a building that's
Well, yeah, you're pushing it out almost a quarter mile,
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is fine. I mean, but
That's up-
there's places where a quarter mile is a lot of people.
Right. That's up kind of the- Okay, so if a location of a building or anything is within 1,000 feet of the boundary of the property, then we need a site.
No. Says a site,
the site plan of the property indicating.
location.
well, yeah, the site plans includes everything within 1,000 feet of the boundary.
Oh, I see.
Within,
You see
yeah,
where
That's
like
why the
your site plan,
floodplains and the waters and all that are in there, okay.
So,
your site
And-
plan includes everything outside a quarter mile around the boundary,
Yeah,
right,
just to make it reference point. So if there's
and if they
anything,
find a big enough industrial spot that's not within 1,000, I mean, if they
Well,
do anything inside 1,000 feet, is what this is.
no, their site plan, no matter if they got,
300
640 acres, they would have to show almost a quarter mile on the outside boundary.
yeah, we
of
did
the-
that because if it was anywhere close to a subdivision or.
Well, and
house.
our only section where this is, we're even considering it
Right,
is
Is
Yeah, no,
houses.
what's up in residential.
May I read that sentence?
Yes, please.
Section 4.01, and I'll change the number after that. District location, a data facility shall only be located within the general industry district pursuant to zoning ordinance section 8.
sounds right.
Okay, correct and to the point.
And then every other one's gonna be 02, 03,
Yes, yes, sir.
all the way to. the rest.
11, 12,
Four,
13,
414.
yep, 414.
Alright, well, I didn't mean to make that so complicated. Glad that's in there.
Nothing else stands out for me. Right from that.
We got an addition to section 401. And we, what was the other thing? Oh, we
Section
added
6.
added this sentence to section 6. If nobody sees anything else, I would entertain a motion to recommend this revised ordinance.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Dan to recommend the revised data facility operations ordinance to the town board.
I'll second.
Second by Patty, all in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, town building updates.
Oh, it's on me already. Okay, so we have, I had contacted our attorney because I wanted to know what the next step was, being that we had all talked about it and agreed that we should go to the board and see what the board said, and the board said, yep, go forward. So I contacted our attorney and I said, okay, now here's our standing. We have money in our general fund to put towards these buildings. Now we want to take it to the public for, just let me find this and then I'll tell you exactly what she said. Here. So we want to take it to the public to have a resolution so that the people can decide whether we should go forward. And I said, the funds will be coming when we get the funds from the new solar. We want to apply a portion of those funds to the building, and we do not want to raise taxes to pay for this building. So we will not be raising the taxes. And exactly what I said, Kathy, it is not our intention to increase the tax levy. However, I would feel more comfortable going to a referendum as the population should have a say. We have budgeted for the down payment and have a new solar project that will be coming online that will more than cover the buildings. We had calculated at a point in time that 70% of the payment every year would be put towards the building, and that would be enough. So there would be 30% of that solar money left over for town improvements. And as a side note, I just found out we're even going to be getting another increase. So I'm not sure how much. I've been hearing about 15%. So that's another good thing. So she said that, dear Lorelei, please find a responsive memorandum attached. The bottom line is the annual town meeting is the place to obtain residents' approval via a resolution authorizing the board to construct the buildings. Statute expressly prohibits a referendum in this case. So the reason is, okay, to obtain a public input regarding this construction project, the upcoming annual town meeting on April 21st provides the appropriate opportunity to obtain resident approval. A resolution adopted at the town meeting may authorize the town board to purchase, lease, or construct buildings for the use of the town. That's in state statute 60.10, parent 2, parent F. Because the construction project will not be funded by the property tax levy, a referendum is not an available alternative. State law expressly prohibits local governments from conducting a referendum for advisory purposes except in limited circumstances, none of which apply here. And then she gave a state statute to refer to. For these reasons, the appropriate mechanism for obtaining public approval of this construction is to place a resolution before the annual town board meeting seeking authorization for the board to construct the buildings. Statute requires a resolution authorizing the board to construct the buildings must specify whether the grant of authority is general and continuing or whether it is limited as to purpose, effect, or duration. And that's state statute. She gives that again. So what I ascertained from this is that we can't go for a referendum, but we cannot let the people know that this is what we want to do. And then they, in turn, we do a resolution. Does everybody get that same thing from this? What I do? Okay.
A resolution during the annual meeting.
Yeah.
So
I guess I was never under the impression that we were going to take it to referendum.
I wanted to. That's me. I'm asking her as a personal.
Because I was never under the impression that that was the route we were trying to go.
I think initially we thought we would have to. When we first started the whole process, that's my thought, is that in order to do it, we had to go through a referendum to actually get
permission, authority
from the town. But she says that with the way we would finance it, we can't.
Right.
Right.
So originally we thought that it would be like on the ballot.
Right.
Right.
Right. So I guess what I'm thinking is that, like at this next town board meeting and the one after, is we tell the town, okay, this is what we came up with. This is our process. This is what we did. We would like to have your opinion. And we will be taking it to the annual meeting to bring a resolution forward. The one thing that I did ask her, and this was in a phone conversation, so I don't have the written word, I said, okay, so if I am the chairman this year and next year I am done, and someone else comes in and says, I'd like to use that money to, let's say, build a park. And I know it's a sore spot, but that's all I can think of. So they want to use the money from the solar to build a park. So now we don't have money to finish paying for the buildings because we're building a park. So could that chairman come back and then take it to, take it to raise the levy, and then they have to take it for a referendum? And she said, yeah. She said, anytime that the tax levy is increased to pay for something, it has to go to a referendum. So just because I am saying, or my board is saying, that we're not going to raise the tax levy, and so we're not taking it to a referendum, doesn't mean that at some point down the road that another board coming in says we want to do something else, and we're going to take that money that we're paying on the building and we're going to take it to a tax, we're going to add.
So there's no way to earmark
No.
anything specific.
We can by policy.
I'm
It
just
doesn't
trying
hold
to-
water.
Okay, we always put money in your budget
Right.
for trucks,
Yeah.
equipment fund. Can you earmark X number of dollars every year for building payment fund?
Yes, but we can only do it while we're here.
Well, yeah.
So we
that's
can't
so
make
Be a
the-
yearly
So
budget.
so the next budget that comes through with the new board says, oh, we're not gonna do that.
We don't
But-
have that fund.
But in order to raise the levy over 2%, you have to go through
Yeah.
a referendum, just like the school district.
So a new board would be better off to adopt what the funding
Funding
Right.
is rather than have
has written.
lay their neck out on the board to raise the.
Well, especially if you borrow,
And the thing is,
you have that obligation, so
Right.
you're somebody's gonna have to come up with
And
the
you're
money
gonna
to
sign
make the loan
contracts.
payments.
But like we've
You're
always
gonna
said,
sign
in order
contracts,
to get away from raising the levy is to borrow the money, because then you can throw it back onto the
and
levy without going through a
Right.
referendum.
so the other thing is, so if we don't build these buildings, we have another 300,000, let's just say 300,000 coming in. It's going to have to go on the roads or to purchase something for the use of the whole town.
Mhm.
We can't just, I don't know, hire somebody. That's not, because if we hire somebody, it's not benefiting, kind of does, but not according to state statutes. But it has to benefit the whole community, because what will happen if we don't, we see an increase in income, but
Not a
that's
decrease
telling
in
the
tax.
state that we don't need as much taxes.
Tax
Um,
base, yeah.
yeah.
assessments, yeah.
It's not subsistence
yeah.
as they're giving us now. But if we take the money and put it back in the town, then we still need it.
The in and out balance.
Right. So that's kind of the conundrum I'm at. So,
Well, I guess that it's
I
a
mean-
bridge that has to be crossed at that particular time. If the board changes and they change, I mean, that's,
so
you'd be cutting their own throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have no control
Yeah.
over that.
Well,
We can only
We
set up.
decided what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
We wanna go forward with this.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
So are you guys wanting to recommend the board to continue going forward?
I think so.
Absolutely,
Well,
yeah. I mean,
The whole thing is, the shop needs to be replaced. I don't care what the situation is. It's either gonna fall down or we replace it.
How it's paid for.
Did I tell you
doesn't
how
matter.
much it was gonna cost? Did I ever tell you guys?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think, you mentioned it at the
Oh,
board
well, you
meeting.
put
I knew there was something.
Like bids or kind of an estimate.
No, I do have,
Yeah, I remember
oh,
hearing.
I do
that.
have the
Yeah.
estimate. It's on my desk. Excuse me for just a moment. I knew that.
It was about half, I think, of what
I don't
the
think we
original
can
was.
foresee what the next
Seriously?
board does. We just have to do what we're doing.
What they, you know, when they
Yeah, then
originally
they
did.
make
it
bad
was all
decisions,
all
they're gonna
new,
have to be
tear down
like
the
next
all
year,
new.
and then he could go.
But before he does, it's falling down, needs to be replaced, we do it. That's,
Okay,
he wants to be here.
I got the estimate back from, Altman. And so it was 2.445 million. That included electrical, plumbing, and HVAC limited. So basics. So like he put in there electrical, just regular lighting and light switches, the basics that you would need. He put in there plumbing for the bathrooms, which is all we're gonna need for the plumbing. But the HVAC is the one that's gonna hit us because he put in insulating the outside. So that doesn't include that 2x4 wall that has to go on the inside and be insulated and paneled. So he said, when I explained to him, well, this is what we're thinking, and I called the architect and told him, they both agreed that at $3 million, we would be set
That's for all of it?
for all of it.
It's a lot better than we were getting from what's his face.
That is, yeah,
Well, it's a lot different than what he
It is.
initially had too.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
that,
is.
it's not really putting
Apples
apples to apples,
Mhm.
but,
But it's a lot more palatable to the residents with
Right.
that price than the other one.
you gotta remember you got furnishing in there too. That was something that when this building was built, all of a sudden, we had office space, but there was nothing in it.
Like bring a couple lawn chairs.
and this
Yeah.
does include the Public Works building,
Right.
but what it doesn't include is the heated floor in the Public Works building, and that was a pretty big ticket item too.
Mhm.
So I'm just kind of telling you what this is, Altman's concept. It didn't include the septic, and that's pretty minor. It's 12,000. I mean, it sounds like a lot,
Right.
you know. Yeah. So
So that stuff we gotta do anyway.
it is.
Right.
That stuff is
I
required.
still think you have
I
to
mean,
move
you
ahead.
can't- some of those things you can't get around,
Right.
so,
Yep.
I mean,
Okay. I didn't remember if I told you that
Just
or not.
because.
We told the town. Or-
I did tell the board, but
Yeah, we
I guess we didn't have a meeting.
We didn't have-
Right.
But even still,
So we need a motion and then can do your thing.
Okay. How would we want to, how would I entertain the motion or what?
To move forward. Just say to move forward.
To move forward with the town building planning? Is that,
Well, we're past the planning.
right, well,
Now we're in the process. So it's getting the state submittals and,
Public approvals.
public
Yeah.
approval. I guess that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Public
public
approval.
next, right, is the
To make it
public
into a